Hello friends, good evening. Welcome to NEET World. This is your Abhilash Sir, Mathematics faculty for Foundation, EAP set, KSET and also JEE. So we were doing the chapter on number system for class 9 CBSE. So let us continue our discussion on that. So we have started with what? Which chapter? I mean number system exercise 1.4. So these are the things we learned, that is the basics. Rational numbers means terminating, but they are non-terminating also but repeating. Irrational numbers, they are neither terminating nor repeating. There cannot be perfect square, they cannot be perfect cube, and pi is also an irrational number. Okay, that is what? Irrational number. Now when it comes to exercise 1.4, we are doing this question. This was already done. Okay, this also we learnt. Okay, simplification of irrational numbers. This pi also, that is method of contradiction to prove irrationality. Method of contradiction to prove irrationality. These things also we learnt. Now before that, in the previous class I told you how to represent root 9.3 on the number line. Okay, so let me start with it again. Let me explain this again, because some of you told you have doubts in this. So let me explain this again. So here have a look at this, student. So first of all, they are telling root 9.3 on the number line. So first what you should do, you should draw a line. Okay, you use a scale and draw a line. Okay, mark this as point A, mark this as point B. What should be the length of this line? Length of this line should be 9.3 centimeter. 9.3 centimeter. Now from this point B, extend this line. Okay, from this point B, extend this line by 1 centimeter. By how much centimeter? By 1 centimeter only. So this will become what? This will be point C, this will be 1 centimeter. So total length of this line AC is how much? Total length of this line AC is how much? It becomes 10.3 centimeter. 10.3 centimeter. Now to represent 9.3, we want to represent what? Root 9.3 on the number line. So for this we want a perpendicular bisector. So how to find the perpendicular bisector? That you are learning in class 8 also in construction chapter. So how to find it? Suppose a line is given, if it is 12 centimeter, to find perpendicular bisector, you have to take in the compass a length which is more than half. Half is how much? Half of 12 is 6. Okay, more than half means you can take 6.1, 6.2, 6.5, 7, 8, anything like that. So more than half you take it. Okay, more than half you take it and cut an arc here and here also, and cut an arc here, and here also you take more than half. Same thing you will take it and cut an arc and join this length. That is a perpendicular bisector. Suppose if it is 11, length is 11. So how much length you should take? If it is 11 means half of it is how much? 5.5. Okay, more than half means it should be more than 5.5. Here 10.3 means half is how much? Half will be, actually it is 5.2 something. So let us take 6 centimeter. So I'll take the compass, I'll measure 6 centimeter and I'll cut an arc. I'll keep it here or I can keep it there. I'll keep it here. I'll take 6 centimeter and I'll cut an arc here. Okay, I'll cut an arc here also. Then what happens? I'll keep it here. I'll keep the compass here and I'll cut an arc. So this becomes what? Like this, and this becomes like this. Okay, we got it like this. Now I have to join these 2 points. If I join these 2 points, what I get? If I join these 2 points, what I get is a perpendicular bisector. Okay, if I join these 2 points, what I get is a perpendicular bisector. Okay, let me draw this arc correctly. The arc will be like this. It meets at this point. If you use the scale and if you use the compass and draw, you will get accurately. So this is what I got. This is a perpendicular bisector. Let me name this point as what? Let me name this point as D. Okay, this point will be D. Okay, this perpendicular bisector means this will be 90 degree, this will also be 90 degree, and it is bisecting what? It is bisecting the line AC into 2 equal halves. That means it becomes what? AD is equal to DC it becomes. Now what I'll do is I'll place the compass here. Okay, and I'll measure the distance DA or I'll measure the distance DC, because AD is equal to DC, it is same distance. Although in figure it is looking different, but actually they will be same distance. Okay, so I'll measure this as radius. So from here I'll draw a semicircle using this. Okay, I'll draw a semicircle using this. Okay, this is the semicircle I got. This is a line extended. Okay, done. Now this much is done. So there are 6 steps we have to follow. First step, draw a line AB, extend it to C. Let this be 1 centimeter. That is second point. Third point is perpendicular bisector. Okay, perpendicular bisector, join the lines. Okay, next, using the perpendicular bisector, what you have to do? Using the perpendicular bisector, take that point D and take that radius and draw a semicircle, that is point 4, that is step 4. Now what you have to do is from B you have to construct 90 degree. How to construct 90 degree at B? You know that. So first we will draw an arc here, then arc here, keep the compass here and keep the compass here and draw an arc. Now this becomes what? 90 degree. Okay, this becomes what? 90 degree. This angle B will become 90 degree. This is step number 5. Now, let this point be what? Let this point be E. Let this point be E. This is what? 5th step. Now, 6th step, what you have to do is, you have to keep the compass here, take this dimension. That is what? Dimension means what? You have to take that length. So, if I take this length, extend this. Okay, this is on the number line, we will extend this. Okay, we have taken this length, let us extend this length. Okay, we have taken up to C, let us extend this length. Now, I will keep the compass here. Okay, what I will do is, I will join this. I will draw an arc like this, dotted line. Here, what I will get here? Okay, let this point be F. What I will get here is nothing but root 9.3, square root of 9.3. This is how you have to represent it. Okay, first of all, draw a long line. Okay, first step. First, take length AB. Okay, take a length AB, that should be what? 9.3 centimeter. That is first step. Second step, extend it by 1 centimeter. Let it be BC be 1 centimeter. Now, you have to draw the perpendicular bisector. For that what? So, total length of AC is what? 10.3. So, more than half of it you have to take the length. More than half means half will be actually 5.2, something like that. Okay. So, you have to take, let us take 6. So, I will keep 6 here and I will draw an arc, and I will draw an arc, and I will keep 6 here and I will draw an arc, compass. Okay, I will join this, then I will get a perpendicular bisector. So, that is what? Point number 3, that is step number 3. Now, using the perpendicular bisector, that point as the radius dA or DC, okay, I will draw a semicircle, that is what? Step number 4. That is what? Step number 4. Clear, got it? Now, step number 5 is, I will construct 90 degree at B and I will draw a line that is 90 degree, that is step number 5. So, this will meet the semicircle at point E. So, I will keep this compass at B and I will take the length of BE and I will extend this like this. Okay, I will extend this like this, then I will get what? I will get this at this point, number line F, that is nothing but root 9.3. That is what is done, that is step number 6. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, I hope it is clear. This is about exercise 1.4 in your new NCERT and exercise 1.5 in old NCERT. Do not worry about that. Okay, we have covered everything. Now, let us move to the next one, friends. Okay, so next question, they are telling rationalize the denominator of the following. Rationalize the denominator of the following. Okay, rationalize the denominator of the following, they are telling. Now, one thing you must understand that, suppose when I write 1, you know that it is what? It is rational number. If I write root 2, it is irrational number. If it is root 3, it is irrational number. Now, what about 1 by root 2? Okay, 1 by root 2 is nothing but what? 1 is rational, root 2 is what? Irrational. What I get the value? That will also be irrational. Okay, that will also be irrational. So, I have to rationalize the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, what are the things that I have to follow? What are the things I have to follow? So, you have to understand that, first thing, you have to understand that to rationalize the denominator, first thing, you have to understand that, suppose A by B is given. Okay, if B is irrational, then you have to multiply numerator and denominator by just B. Numerator and denominator by just B. Or if A by B plus C is given, if B plus C is irrational, what you have to do is, to rationalize the denominator, you have to multiply by B minus C. Okay, B minus C, B plus C, B and C you write as it is in the numerator and denominator. You have to change the sign. If it is plus, only in the middle, that sign you have to change. Plus will become minus, plus will become minus, or if it was minus here, it will become plus, okay. That is the meaning of rationalizing the denominator. That is the meaning of what? Rationalizing the denominator, friends. Okay. Now, let us see the question. What is the question that they have given? 1 by root 7. So, 1 by root 7 is the thing that they have given, that is the first question. Okay, 1 by root 7 is given, we have to rationalize this. To rationalize this, what we have to do? We have to multiply numerator and denominator by the same denominator. We have to multiply numerator and denominator by same denominator. This will give us what? I should write this as what? 1 by root 7 into root 7 by root 7. So, in the denominator, rationalizing the denominator means what? In the denominator, there should be no irrational number. In the denominator, there should be only rational number. That is the meaning of rationalizing the denominator. In the denominator, already rational number is there, means there is no need to rationalize. But in the denominator, irrational number is there, means you have to bring it to a form where it becomes a rational number. So, for that what we have to do? There are some methods. That is, one thing is we multiply numerator and denominator by same denominator. If denominator is having two operations like plus is there, okay, between two numbers, two irrational numbers, you have to multiply by minus of that. So, what it will become? 1 by root 7 will become 1 into root 7 is root 7, and root 7 into root 7 is what, friends? We have learnt irrational and irrational, if same number irrational number is there, it will become square root of 7 into 7, that is square root of 7 square, that is nothing but 7. So the answer to this question is, I will write one more step, root 7 into root 7, I will get it. So this will become what? Root 7 by root 7 whole square. Okay, that will become what, friends? Root 7 by 7. Okay, we should not cancel like this. If you cancel again, you will get the same thing. You will get it as, so root 7 by 7. This is the answer. Okay, this is the answer to this question. Okay, clear? This is the answer to this question. Is it clear? So this is how you solve this question. Root 7 by 7 is the answer to this question. Okay. See here in the denominator is what? It is rational number. Here it was irrational number. Now it has become what? A rational number. Clear? Okay. Now let us move to the second question, friends. Let us move to the second question. Second question is what? 1 by root 7 minus root 6. 1 by root 7 minus root 6. So for this, what I have to do? I should write it as it is, root 7 minus root 6. I have to multiply by root 7. Here I will write root 6. Here I will write what? Root 7, root 6. Okay. So what is the sign I have to write? Here minus is there. So while rationalizing, here I have to change the sign. Only in between. Okay. Outside signs, you don't worry. Keep it as it is. Between what is the sign? Minus is there. So here it will become plus. So here it will become plus. So this becomes what? Numerator becomes what? Root 7 plus root 6 into 1 is, it is nothing but root 7 plus root 6. Okay. But now very important thing you have to focus. Very important thing. See here, friends, here it is what? Root 7 minus root 6 into root 7 plus root 6. These of which form? A minus b into what it is? A minus b into what it is? Into a plus b. This gives us what, friend? This gives us a square minus b square. Correct na? This gives us a square minus b square. So I can write it as what? Root 7 square minus root 6 whole square. Root 7 whole square minus root 6 whole square. So this becomes what? Root 7 by root 6. Okay. By root 7 square is nothing but what? It is 7 itself. Root 6 square is nothing but what? 6 itself. Okay. 7 minus 6. So that becomes what? Root 7 plus root 6 divided by 1. That is the answer. Or you can write it as just root 7 plus root 6. Here denominator nothing is there means it is 1 itself, or you can leave it as it is, or you can write 1. So denominator what is there? 1. That is what? Rational number. Okay, that is what? Rational number. Okay, we are rationalizing the denominator. Don't worry about the numerator. We are rationalizing the denominator means in the denominator there should be no irrational number. So in the first question, root 7 was there, that was irrational. We made it rational, it became 7. Okay, we rationalized it. Root 7 minus root 6 was there in second question. We rationalized it and it became what? 1. So 1 is what? Rational number. So denominator will be irrational. We have to make it rational. For that we follow this method. We have to multiply by that and we have to change the sign. In fact, if two numbers are given, if only one number is given, just multiply the same number as it is. Okay, clear? Very simple. Look at that question. 1 by root 5 plus root 2. 1 by root 5 plus root 2. This is the question they were given. So let me write it as it is. Very carefully we have to write it. Focus, please focus. So 1 by root 5 plus root 2. So I will write it root 5. Here I will write root 2. Here I will write multiply by root 5. Here I will write root 2. Why I am leaving the space? I have to write the sign. Here plus is there means what I should write? Plus only? No. Here if it is plus, it should be minus. It should be minus. So what will this become, friends? This will become root 5 minus root 2. Again, this is of which form? A plus b into a minus b. Correct? No? A plus b into a minus b form. So this becomes what? A square minus b square. So this becomes what? Root 5 plus root 2. Root 5 minus root 2. This becomes what? Root 5 square minus root 2 square. If same irrational number is multiplied by itself, then you will get the same number, that is root 5 square will become 5 itself. That is square and 2 will get square and square root 2, square and square root will get cancelled. You can think like that. So this will become what? Root 5 minus root 2 divided by root 5 square. To this 2 and square root, this 2 and square root will cancel. You can think like that. So this will become 5 minus 2. So this will become what, friends? Root 5 minus root 2 divided by 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, 3 is what? Rational number. So here the denominator is what? Here the denominator is 3. That is a rational number. Earlier what we had the denominator? Root 5 plus root 2. Okay, it is an irrational number. We rationalized it and now the denominator is what? It is 3. Okay, so we have rationalized the denominator and we got the rational number as 3. Okay, that is how you have to solve this. In the answer, the denominator should always be rational number. After rationalizing, still if you are getting irrational number in the denominator, then you have gone wrong somewhere. Okay, so please keep this in mind. In the answer, denominator should be always rational number. Clear? Next question, friends. 1 by root 7 minus 2. 1 by root 7 minus 2. Okay. Fourth one. 1 by root 7 minus 2. Okay. Here also denominator is irrational, because irrational minus rational is irrational only. Okay. Irrational minus rational is irrational only. So here I should rationalize it again. 1 by root 7 minus 2. Okay. If I multiply this, what I will get? Root 7 I will write it, 2 I will write it, root 7 I will write it, 2 I will write it. Okay. So here what happens? Here in between what sign is there? Minus is there. Opposite to this is plus. I should write plus here. I should write plus here. This becomes what? Root 7 plus 2 divided by, what is this? Root 7 minus 2, root 7 plus 2, that is a minus b into a plus b. You have to write the identity exam. Okay. Then only you will get the marks. Okay. Root 7 minus 2 into root 7 plus 2, that is a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square, that is nothing but root 7 square minus what it is? It is 2 square. It is not root 2 square, it is 2 square. Root 7 square, 2 and square root will cancel. I will get it as what? I will get it as, let me write it here, root 7 plus 2 divided by root 7 square is 7 itself. Okay. Now 7 minus 2 square is what? 2 square is 4. Okay, very simple. So this will become what, friends? Root 7 plus 2 divided by 7 minus 4 is what? 7 minus 4 is 3. Okay, got it? So this is the answer to this question. So earlier the denominator was what? The denominator was root 7 minus 2, which was an irrational number. Now the denominator is what? It is 3, which is a rational number. Clear, friends? This is how we have to solve this question. We have to rationalize the denominator. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let us move to the next one. Okay, this is exercise 1.6. Before going to exercise 1.6, I will tell you the concepts. Okay, I will tell you the concepts. That is, you have to know the law of exponents. That is, you have to know the law of exponents. Okay, law of exponents you have to know. That is, exercise 1.6 is nothing but exercise 1.5 in which NCERT? In new NCERT. So you have to know the law of exponents. So suppose they have given a power m into a power n, first one. Okay, that time it becomes a power m plus n. That is what? The bases are same, then if it means multiplication, then it becomes what? A power m plus n. Okay, so the powers will get added. Suppose example, if I take 2 power 3 into 2 power 7, this will become what, friends? 2 power 3 plus 7. 2 power 3 plus 7, that gives us what? 2 power 10. Or if it is 2 power 3 into 2 power minus 1, what I can write? 2 power 3 plus of minus 1 is plus minus 1. So this becomes what? 2 power 3 plus into minus is minus 2 power 3 minus 1. So that becomes what? 2 power 2. That will become what, friends? 2 power 2 is nothing but 4. Clear? Like this you have to solve this question. Now suppose same thing, instead of multiplication, if they give a division, what we have to do? A power m divided by a power n. If they give it like this, that time what you have to do, friends? It becomes a power m minus n. A power m minus n. Okay. Earlier it was addition, multiplication transfers into addition, and division transfers into subtraction. Okay. This is what we will get. Now what I can write here? Example, 2 power 3 or 2 power 7 divided by 2 power 3 gives us what? 2 power 7 minus 3, that is nothing but equal to 2 power 4. That is nothing but equal to 2 power 4. Okay. This one example. Now one more thing you have to understand, that third one, if I write 1 by a power n, that is nothing but equal to a power minus n. If it is in denominator, if you bring it to numerator, it will become a power minus n. Or if it is numerator, a power n by 1 or just a power n. Okay. If I bring it to denominator, it will become 1 by a power minus n. That is, if it is in numerator, if it comes to denominator, sign will change. If it is in numerator, if it comes to denominator, sign will change. Or you can also write it as what? Or you can also write it, if it was already negative, a power minus n is there, if it comes to numerator, if it is in numerator, if it comes to denominator, sign will change, it will become positive. Or if it was like a power minus n, okay, in the denominator is negative, if it comes to positive, that is, if it comes to numerator, it will become positive, a power n. Okay. Example is, see here, example is 2 power 3. Okay. If I bring it to denominator, it will become 2 power minus 3. Okay, 1 by 2 power 3. Okay, 1 by 2 power 3. If you bring it to numerator, it will become 2 power minus 3. Okay, 2 power minus 3. Same thing. If it is 2 power minus 3, if I bring it to denominator, it will become what? It will become positive 1 by 2 power 3. Okay, or if it was 1 by 2 power minus 3, if I bring it to numerator, it will become what, friends? It will become 2 power 3 positive. Okay, it will become positive. You can take a screenshot of this. Okay, you have written first 3 properties. Similarly, we will write other properties as well. Okay, you can take a screenshot of this if you want. Okay, let us move to the next property, friends. Similar to the third one, but here if 2 numbers are given. So, suppose they were given a by b to the power of m is given. A by b to the power of m is given. Okay, a by b to the power of m is given. Then if I write b by a, then if I write b by a, what will the power? Power will change. It will become minus m. Okay, a by b to the power of m is given. If I write b by a, it will become to the power of minus m. Clear? Or if I write it as a by b to the power of minus m. Okay, a by b to the power of minus m. If I write it as b by a, here it is minus, it will become positive. Okay, it will become positive. Okay, it will become positive. This is one thing you have to remember. Example, see here. Example is what? See here, example. This becomes what? This becomes example 2 by 3 to the power of 4. Okay, if I write it as 3 by 2, it will become to the power of minus 4. It will become to the power of minus 4. This is inverse property. Okay, if I write 2 by 3 to the power of minus 4. Okay, if I write it as 3 by 2, it will become to the power of, here it is minus, it becomes positive plus 4. Clear? Okay, this is one property you have to remember. This is one property you have to remember. Next thing you have to understand. See here, very important. Fifth one. Okay, fifth one you have to understand this. See here, fifth one, fifth property. If I write a into b to the power of m, a into b to the power of m, then it becomes what, friends? Then it becomes a to the power of m into b to the power of m. Okay, a into b to the power of m, it becomes a to the power of m into b to the power of m. That is example, if I write it 2 into 5 to the power of 3, then I can write it as what? 2 to the power of 3 into 5 to the power of 3. This one thing you have to understand. Clear? Even RHS to LHS also if you go, that also you should remember. A to the power of m, b to the power of m can be written as ab to the power of m. That also you should remember. Similarly, if I write it as what? If I write it as a by b to the power of m, okay, this can be written as what, friends? A to the power of m divided by b to the power of m. A to the power of m divided by b to the power of m. That is example 2 by 5 to the power of 3 can be written as 2 to the power of 3 divided by 5 to the power of 3 divided by 5 to the power of 3, friends. Clear? 2 to the power of 3 divided by 5 to the power of 3. Similarly, here only if I write it a by b to the power of m by n, if I write it m by n, this can be written as a to the power of m by n divided by b to the power of m by n. Okay, b to the power of m by n. Okay, so example I can write it as 2 by 5 to the power of 3 by 4 can be written as what? 2 to the power of 3 by 4 by 5 to the power of 3 by 4. 5 to the power of 3 by 4. Clear? Now, very important property you have to remember now. So, see here, friends, if I write it a to the power of m to the power of n, okay, a to the power of m to the power of n, if I write it, this becomes what? A to the power of m into n, a to the power of m into n, that is mn, that is a to the power of m into n. Example, if I write it 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2, it becomes what? It becomes 2 to the power of 3 into 2, that is 2 to the power of 6, that is 2 to the power of 6. Okay, you have to understand this, that is 2 to the power of 6. Clear, friends? Okay, now one more property you have to remember, a to the power of m to the power of p by q, if I write it, to the power of p by q, if I write it, this becomes what, friends? A to the power of m into p by q. Okay, a to the power of m into p by q, a to the power of m into p by q. Example, if I write it 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2 by 3, this I can write it as what? This I can write it as 2 to the power of 3 into 2 by 3, 3 into 2 by 3. Here 3 into 2 by 3 is there, what I can write? Okay, 3 and 3 I can cancel, this becomes 2 to the power of 2, that is it will become 4. So, see here example I am writing 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2 by 3, that is a to the power of m to the power of p by q, that is p by q here is what, 2 by 3. So that becomes what, 2 to the power of 3 into 2 to the power of 3 into 2 by 3. So 3 and 3 will cancel, I will get what, 2 square, that is nothing but equal to 4. Okay, these are all the very important properties which you have to remember, friends. These are all the very important properties which you have to remember, highly important. Okay, let me club it here. Okay, these are the law of exponents you have to remember. Okay, please remember this laws of exponents. Okay, please remember this laws of exponents, it's highly important. Okay, it's not just for this chapter, you will be using it regularly throughout the entire class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. If laws of exponents are strong, then your algebra and also arithmetic will become very strong. Okay, that's why laws of exponents are used throughout the mathematics. Okay, please focus on this laws of exponents because it's very important. Got it, friends? It is very important. Please go through it. Go through the examples also. Write down the examples by yourself. Then it will be easy for you to understand. Is it clear? Okay. After this, in the next class, we will be solving exercise 1.5 and we will be completing exercise 1.5. After that, what we will be doing? Number system is not done. We have done only NCERT questions. Then we will do R.D. Sharma, R.S. Agarwal, or also even Educard. Those book questions based on number system we will be doing, and most importantly we will be solving even case study based questions. Even case study based questions you have to practice from 9th class itself, then only in class 10th you will be very confident of attempting case study based questions. Is it clear, friends? I will wind up now. Let us meet in tomorrow session, that is tomorrow evening 6 p.m. Okay, thank you, have a great day, good evening again, take care, bye.